Welcome back to Stooge Stream. It's the Impact recap. We're back for 2017. We're talking about the Impact Wrestling episode that aired on the 5th of January, the first for the year. I am your host, the Stooge. With me, as always, is my co-host, Gbanks.
Yo, what's happening, YouTubers? Happy holidays and, Merry New Year's.
Close enough, close enough. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get some housekeeping out of the way first. There has been some moves and news and things that have happened, so let's cover that off really quickly. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Dixie Carter is gone from TNA.
Na.
Way.
Fuck off.
All right, next in the housekeeping, yes, that means that Anthem Sports has bought TNA.
Anthem. Absolute anthem, man. Sorry, I was King Ross.
I like it. So what we thought was going to be possibly bad news has turned into good news because back also in TNA
take that,
is now...
naysayers.
Yeah.
TNA's dead. Yeah, right.
No, they're now solvent and have a huge company behind them with money.
They're literally the Undertaker of wrestling, if you think about it. They never die.
Every time they get put in that casket, So we have Dutch Mantell, who people that watch WWE TV may know as Zeb Coulter, is now back in creative in TNA. He was part of the creative team when TNA was great back in the day. And one of the other people who was part of the creative team when TNA was great back in the day is now on board as an executive consultant, and that is old Slapnuts himself.
That hick.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, welcome back, buddy.
Welcome back. So it looks like we've got a good creative team now.
TNA's glory was credited to him.
It was to him and Dutch Mantell, and a little bit to Dusty Rhodes as well, if you go way, way, way back. But so I'm looking forward to what's happening.
Same.
So the kickoff,
big things happening for TNA. I'm really excited.
100%, and that ties straight
and dude,
into...
if you actually go back and listen to our shows previously, we were a bit worried.
I was very worried.
If you actually listen to them, we were saying we don't know if we're going to be talking about this next year. But hey,
but now that Anthem's taken over, the introduction of Jeff Jarrett
some
back
people
and
might
Dutch
know what Anthem is. So can you just tell them quickly?
They're the owner of the Fight Network. So
I didn't know that. Sorry.
Yeah, you can get their app and stuff. They're a company that owns a whole lot of other different things, but the biggest thing is the Fight Network that shows Bellator at TNA and a whole lot of other sports. They're a subscription app and so forth.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Anthem, if you want some top-notch marketers, you know who to call or message.
Or if you want to give us a free subscription.
Please, we watch your shit.
We do. All right, so this all actually, good question, because it ties directly into the beginning of the show with Josh and the Pope out there live in front of the crowd, putting over Anthem.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which was actually...
They're like, hey, these guys are paying us.
Woo, we're getting regular paychecks.
These are your GMs, Anthem.
Yeah. Awesome. So then Eddie Edward comes out, and he actually puts over TNA.
Yeah.
So, which is great. Says he's got a surprise later in the show. Lashley comes out and interrupts him. He's like, I don't care about your surprise, Eddie. I'm the number one contender. I want a rematch.
Let's do this.
Then EC3 interrupts, and he says he wants a rematch, to which Eddie Edwards turns around and goes, well, boys, let's have a triple threat.
Yep, let's
do it. So that's
It was coming, but
it's a great way to open the show to get some momentum and the year, and knowing that this is going to be our main event. These three guys can go too.
Exactly.
So it's great. Next up, we had Miracle versus Moose for the Grand Championship. Miracle was introduced by Maria as always.
Of course.
And Moose is introduced by the crowd chanting, Moose!
Moose!
Now, again, I have problems with the scoring system because it's fucking retarded. But the match itself between the Miracle and Moose was really athletic.
This was
great
actually
match.
the best, what do you call this again? What's this?
Grand Championship.
Grand Championship match I've seen this so far.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
100%.
Because it wasn't a Grand Championship map. It was a wrestling match.
It was, and they just kept interrupting them every 3 minutes.
They'll like to tell them numbers.
Which were meaningless.
Yeah, you have 10s and 9s. But I knocked him out. 10s and 9s.
Yeah. So Mike Bennett wins round 1.
Yeah.
This goes, and that was a really great sort of hold grappling first round. Round.
It was like slow to start off with, but
Yeah.
they were still, you know, getting
Oh, no,
some
but it
moves
was
in.
good,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were still getting moves in. You know, there was some good little spots to start off with. They were like, ooh, okay.
But they were building.
Yeah, yeah.
And what they were building to was the biggest moonsault I've ever seen. And I don't mean
Moonsault,
because
what-
it was height. I mean because Moose is a monster and he did a moonsault.
We should call them moonsault. What
Yeah.
Pope called it.
Yeah, well, I wrote that down, dude. Moose salt. And it was, he did a second rope moose salt and a top rope moose
Yeah.
salt on the mat, and it was amazing.
It was spectacular.
Now, not to be outdone, the Miracle Mike Bennett decided to out RKO Randy Orton.
Hey, when you can out RKO the man that created the, like, you know, wouldn't say they created the move, but you know
No,
what I'm saying.
he
They
did create
create the finisher.
The
like,
cut up, but his version of it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, Bennett did. Miracle did an amazing
very
flying
good.
cutter.
And I'm
Yeah.
surprised Pope didn't have a semi-heart attack over it.
We were watching with the knockout Fiona, and if you remember the last episode, we were like, "Is Pope stoned?"
Oh yeah.
And she actually said it this time, not us. Well,
Yeah.
like I was like, I'm not saying anything. And about 3/4 of the way through the show, she turns around, she's like, "Is the Pope stoned?" I'm like, "That's what we said."
Yeah, he's stoned.
So Moose wins round 2 because he did a moose salt.
Yeah. I'll give him 10s and 9s definitely for that.
For that, 100%. Round 3 was another really athletic, great spots, tight wrestling, really tight
Yeah, it
wrestling
was.
on both sides. Comes to the decision, Moose wins by split decision from the refs. This leads to later on backstage where Mike Bennett challenges Moose to a match. No scoring system,
No
none of that
bullshit.
garbage, just him versus Moose, no
Exactly.
disqualifications at One Night Stand, which we'll be talking about later on in the week.
Yeah. He practically said what we all were thinking. Fuck this fucking judges off.
Yeah.
And let's just do this properly.
Can we wrestle?
Yeah, can we
Can we
wrestle?
wrestle?
Yeah, please.
Can we just drop the grand champion? Call it the TV title. Just give it like it was originally the TV title. Then it became the Legend title or something, or was it the Legend title? Then it became the TV title. Now it's a grand championship title. Just call it the TV title. Make a stipulation where it has to be defended on TV at least twice a month. You don't have to defend it on pay-per-views.
I wouldn't mind that. But why wouldn't they just call it the Grand Championship and just get rid of the whole judging stuff?
Because it's now tied to it. Like,
Yeah.
just drop it. It's now the TV title. It's got to be defended twice a month.
What
on
was the
TV.
point of the TV title?
It was the step-up title in ECW.
Okay.
So they didn't have a, United
Intercontinental,
States or
yeah,
Intercontinental. They had the TV title, and
Okay,
that was
fair
a
enough.
step up to the world
And
title.
how did you get the TV title? Or how was it won? Like, obviously, you
I
won
don't know.
it.
Rob Van Dam took it and never gave it back. So I was-
Some history, folks.
yeah, no, it was always defended on TV. That was the point. It was a
okay.
title that you would always see the matches on TV.
Okay, yeah, because back then...
Yeah, so there was, like, even when it was defended on a pay-per-view, they'd play that whole match on TV the next week,
yeah.
so you could see it for free.
Okay.
Like the internet title in WCPW.
Okay, fair enough.
So Hornswoggle appears backstage,
Yay.
which is awesome. He's
But
now
his name's
just Swoggle.
yeah.
He's talking to Vanguard 1, and the Hardys interrupt him. And one of the greatest... Oh, dude, it was just amazing, where Matt Hardy's like, "So tell me, were you there to infiltrate my event by your father, Mick Mahan?" And he's like, that's fake. That's TV.
Yeah,
That's
not
not real.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wonderful!"
Ah,
The Hardys are so good.
they're so good.
So Rockstar Spud comes out and challenges Swoggle to a match.
Because what he did to him from Final Deletion.
The total non-stop deletion.
Yeah, total non-stop deletion.
Swoggle wins with a Celtic cross. He actually does a couple of really good moves in
Yeah.
this. I was like, that was great.
It was a squash match and it went
was.
for like 30 seconds,
Yeah,
but still.
But he got in a couple of like decent little moves. Rockstar Spud loses his fucking shit
Knockers.
and quits TNA.
Yeah, apparently.
So that leads me to wonder, did he get picked up for the UK WWE show? Maybe this was his way out the door.
Maybe, possibly.
Who knows? Eli Drake.
Hey, welcome back, buddy.
Backstage, he's got signs.
Yeah.
That was just so good. It was
Led to the segue of
Yeah.
his next...
me
show.
talking coming
Yeah.
up next. But just him standing there with the signs, he is so... That dude is like one of the most charismatic characters on TV right now.
Easy.
So it's an in-ring fact of
Like
life.
you're just always excited when you see his face. Like,
Yeah,
like, God
you
damn
know
it.
something
Yeah,
amazing's
something's
gonna
gonna happen.
So he's doing a fact of life. He's guests of the Hardys, but the opening little bit where he's like, "Did you miss me, dummies?" and everyone starts chanting and stuff. He's super on at the moment too, like just shutting the crowd down and going back to his thing, calling them idiots, and like, "Don't think chanting my name makes you cool, dummy."
Yeah. Gotta love that man.
Oh, he's so amazing. And the segment with the Hardys, what do you think of it?
I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty funny. Eli Drake, doing his thing. We got to hear him talk finally for the first time in 2017. It led to their match that they're gonna have between each other and one night stand.
One night only.
One night only. Sorry. Yeah.
So it's the Hardys versus Eli Drake and a partner of his choosing.
He's choosing. Yeah.
I really like the fact that these three guys are three guys that know their characters really well. So what we were seeing was a really good performance by three people. These were three, it was just a great, like sometimes you see characters slip and fall a little bit or change midstream or like they just don't know their characters just yet. They haven't completely developed. These guys know exactly who they
they
are.
know what they're saying.
So
they work well with each other.
Yeah. So it wasn't Sean Ritter or whatever his name is and Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. It was literally Broken Matt Hardy, Brother Nero, and Eli Drake. That's what we watched. I really enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to One Night Stand.
I can't wait.
Now this is weird because we're burning through this show. Like it seems like not a lot happened, but if you watch it, the promos and everything are really dense. A lot actually happens. They give everything a lot of breathing room, which I kind of appreciate.
It's not all in one. Like, you know what I mean? There's not like, here you go, here's a 30-minute promo.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a 10-minute promo, a 2-minute match, then, 20-second promo, then
10-minute
a 10-minute match, whatever.
But they gave everything the appropriate amount of time.
Yeah.
Nothing felt cut short, but nothing went too long.
Exactly.
So Eddie Edwards,
right temperature, as you would say.
Yeah, they found that right middle spot. So Eddie Edwards is backstage cutting a promo about the triple threat match. Lashley interrupts him and does I'm taking the title, Eddie. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm your surprise, baby.
Yeah. So we're still building up to what is this surprise? What's happening? Who has Eddie got? Blah, blah.
Who's his boy?
His boys. Next up, we had the Helms Dynasty. My biggest disappointment of the night was Shane Helms not as the Hurricane.
Was he? I was actually going to question that. Was he allowed to be the Hurricane in the total?
No, he wasn't the Hurricane. He was a superhero.
Ah, okay. So he was just a superhero.
Yeah. Thank you, superhero, for helping me.
Yeah, fair enough. So will he be allowed to do that in...
No, of course not.
Okay.
He can be a generic superhero, but he can't be the Hurricane. But him saying, once I got thrown in the water, man, I didn't know anything that happened after that. I blanked out. But it doesn't matter. We're back now. We're the Helms Dynasty.
We're Team Unity. Yeah. And then, what's his name?
Andrew Everett
and...
Trevor Lee.
Trevor Lee actually says one of the most funny things. Goes, yeah, Unity. There's no I in Unity. And they're all just looking at him like, what? No, I in Unity. What?
Yeah, it was
literally
great.
lost my shit.
And they kind of just walk off.
Yeah, walk off. Like, even Andrew ever pointed at him. The jobber pointed at you going, you're an idiot.
Yeah, it was great. So that led to tonight's tag team match of the Helms Dynasty versus Decay for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
This was Decay, of course, being Crazy Steve, Abyss, and Rosemary. If you didn't know that.
If you didn't know that, you shouldn't be watching this show.
Why the fuck are you listening to this? Really? Why the fuck are you listening to this? I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
I thought this was really well done. This
was my second match of the night.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that, dude. Yeah, I'm right there with you, actually. I thought this was a very classic wrestling match. Yeah. You knew who the good, there was no good guys, but you knew who the not as bad guys were.
Yeah, you're right. There wasn't a really good guy in this, but there was I don't want to go for the monsters because they're monsters and they bite and spit acid at people.
And their characters literally killed people at the last show.
Yeah, so I'll go for the two stone and surfy looking dudes.
Yeah.
With the man with the green jacket walking around with them. That looks like their dad or something. I don't know. Or their crazy uncle. I don't know.
Yeah, crazy dude who just likes green too much.
Yeah.
But again, I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was just a really great battle between these two teams.
Yeah.
And showed you their characters and who they are. Like Decay were nasty and mean and did horrible things. But Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee aren't. They're just wrestlers, but they'll just do whatever it takes to win.
They're actually they synced very well with each other in this match.
They did. They got some great
they've done well throughout last year. Like they did pretty well, but like you actually got to see them actually link up. So, like I don't know if they actually wrestle with each other out in the Indies.
I would assume they would have to know each other.
Like I know they know each other through the Indies, but I'm not sure if they wrestle with each other like as a tag team.
I'd assume they would have to just because of that chemistry.
Yeah, like it was really cool.
Know each other
I was
really
like, wow.
well.
I was like, for someone that we just saw, together, like, that's pretty good chemistry already.
Yeah.
After just 1 year and barely doing nothing, like, what I mean?
Yeah, not doing a great deal together, like more, So they work so well as a tag team. And they have had some outings in the past where you could see that sort of, something's there.
Yeah.
But you actually got to see it in this. Mm-hmm. They did some great tag team
Job
moves.
got all fans in?
Yeah, he's not Job anymore.
Yeah, I'm calling him Andrew Everett from now on.
He got 2 minutes into this match and he actually got the jump on Crazy Steve, I believe. And I was like, oh, he's not jobbing anymore.
Yeah, cool.
Good job, Everett. But no, it really was.
Good job, Everett.
Yeah, a great match. And one that, if you're into tag team wrestling, you should really see. This was a classic style tag team wrestling match.
Enjoyable.
Now we have the ongoing shenanigans between Allie and Maria backstage.
The whole high school drama bullshit.
It's great. Come on, dude.
I can't back it.
You can't, but you kind of secretly love it.
The only reason I secretly love it is because of that disapproving goddess.
Laurel.
Yes.
All right. So Maria says backstage to Allie, put on your stuff. You think you're a wrestler. I'll see you in the ring. She's got Sienna and Laurel flanking her in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Cuts a promo about how Allie's the worst thing that's ever happened to her in the bane of her existence.
Like we've heard that before. Yeah.
Now she's going to be facing Sienna.
Mm-hmm.
And so Allie comes out and does her cutesy little looks. And just a side note, before we get to the match between Sienna and Allie actually wrestles in Shimmer and other promotions.
Yeah.
She's a very competent, talented wrestler. I don't want to see any of it. Because I like this character. I'll go watch it all after this storyline finishes developing, but I like this character and I like watching the fact that I know she's a competent wrestler, but she wrestles like she isn't.
No, she doesn't, and she's actually very good doing covering that up.
And the talent you have to be able to do that, to be able to pretend to not do something that you've probably been doing for 5 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get into the match, Sienna and Allie. Sienna plays a monster heel really well. Yeah. She's a great wrestler.
She's like the new Awesome Kong, kind of, in a way.
Kind of.
In her own way, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying, she's, the biggest threat there. It's just, she's the, one to beat.
Yeah, no, 100%.
She's NXT's Nia Jax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's the dominant big monster. Yeah. It doesn't matter if she takes a loss. She's still a dominant monster.
Exactly.
She's a pace setter.
Yeah.
I agree entirely. And she was
you beat her, you're doing something right.
Yeah, it means something. So the whole match between her and Allie started off with no shenanigans, but you knew it was coming, of course. It was actually really good.
Yeah, it was.
I was really enjoying that.
I actually enjoyed that match too.
Yeah.
Great way to start off the knockouts this year.
It is.
Yeah.
It really was. Now, of course, you knew there was going to be some shenanigans, so Braxton comes out to, coach Allie and come on, you're doing great. And
give her moral support.
Laurel starts distracting Allie by coming onto Braxton, and Allie gets distracted once but recovers, and the second time's too much. She takes the silencer from Sienna, and 1, 2, 3, it's over. But in the match itself, even coming out, Allie didn't look like a loser. Allie looked like she was going to win that match.
Yeah, she was.
And all it was a distraction.
She was on top of her. She had it over, and then all of a sudden, she's seen that Laurel was all over Braxton. She's like, get away from my boyfriend.
So take note, bookers. This is how you book someone strong. Allie was booked strong in this match. Still have that person lose and have the other person come out looking strong as well.
Yeah.
Without losing any of their shine. That was really well done in that regard.
Yeah.
The booking was quite spot on.
Spot on, well done. 10 out of 10 booking TNA.
Yeah, I like that.
A great start to the year.
Well, it would have been, except for the main event. So we had EC3 versus Lashley versus Edwards for the TNA World Heavyweight title. Go.
I'll start it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to fucking
2017.
Yeah. Well done. The guys put on a spectacular show.
Yeah.
It started off, slowly, obviously. I think Eddie and EC3 teamed up on Lashley to take out the big threat, obviously, because he's your ultimate heel. And then they had their little, scuffle between each other. Then, Lashley was slowly coming back into the match, and it just erupted from there. Then you just saw spots going from 1 to 4. It was ridiculous, man.
There were some huge spots, like the double tackle into the exposed turnbuckles. That was fantastic. I had Lashley tackling EC3 and Eddie Edwards at the same time. It was huge.
Lashley picking up wrestlers like they're literally rag dolls.
Like they're toys.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Picking them up off the ground and spinning them around.
Like, come up, EC3. There we go. Cradle you like a baby. Throw you over my head.
Yeah.
Come on, Eddie. Let me throw you over there too. Yeah. Sweet. No worries.
He's just such a powerhouse.
He's
and then
ridiculous.
Eddie Edwards, there was a great spot where Eddie does an enziguri to Lashley and he turns and EC3 hits him with an enziguri like straight away. Like,
what about the suicide dive that Eddie Edwards did on
onto Lashley.
Lashley, yeah.
Shut up, caffeine!
Yeah, shut up, caffeine, daddy. And then, what about when Bobby Lashley went out and speared EC3 onto the freaking mats?
There was some great spots in this match. This is how you do a triple threat match.
Yeah, well done, guys.
This is great. Now, we got to the end of the match, and Lashley went out, grabbed the title, and was about to use the title to hit Eddie Edwards and take the cheap win. And all of a sudden, Davey Richards comes running down, takes the title out of his hands. Lashley turns around, sees him.
He's back.
Yeah, turns back, takes the Boston knee party from... no.
It was the enziguri.
Enziguri, took the enziguri spot, and then...
It is the Boston knee party.
Yeah. And then that was it. So, Eddie Edwards retains. We get a huge return to somebody that actually retired last year. He was done with wrestling.
I actually know this until you told me.
Yeah, so Davey gone back to being a fireman. He's got a kid. He needs a paycheck.
Yeah.
TNA weren't paying people on time, and he was one of those people that was like, well, what's the point of me doing this if I'm not getting paid?
Yeah, why would I get injured here if I can go get paid?
So Anthem have re-signed Davey Richards, and now they're going to pay him.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We got a great face pop at the end of Davey holding up Eddie Edwards' hand.
Great little reunion.
Great. No one came out of this match looking bad either.
I would say no one came out looking bad in this whole show today.
Yeah, it was a greatly booked show.
Besides Rockstar Spud.
Yeah, but he's supposed to. Like, it's part of the... But that was booked perfectly as well. He's supposed to come out looking like that. But EC3 came out looking like he was this close, and if it wasn't for that exposed turnbuckle...
because he took the worst of it at the end.
He may have had it, right?
Yeah, and then he got speared straight after it. Yeah, so he was taken out completely.
Yeah, and that was just those exposed turnbuckles. If it wasn't for that, he would still be in it, right? Lashley still looks like a monster. He looked like he
took out 2 guns.
And he looked like he would have had it if it wasn't for Davey Richards pulling the title out of his hands. But Edwards retains and comes out looking strong as well. Like, this is booking down to Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantel.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I even said to you, I'm like, TNA going back to their roots, dude. Yeah. Like, from what we were watching, like, literally, I was like, am I watching the 2002, TNA when they were first called NWA? Like, what's going on?
When they had the NWA title.
Sorry,
it was NWA TNA.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on? But no, it's awesome. It's good to see this.
Fantastic.
And I'm glad this is happening with TNA. Yeah. Like, I'm really happy.
In the course of one show, the bookings tightened right up. Like, this is... Please, more of this.
Yeah.
Just more of this. This is great. Like, everyone played their part to perfection. Everyone knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
The promos were fantastic. No one went over. The show, that's the other thing as well. Like, when you have professionals that know how to time things, which I don't think they had, like, the greatest production team prior, but when you've got Jeff Jarrett coming back in and going, no, this needs to be this amount of minutes, and that's it, because we've got all this other shit to do. It can't run over.
Yeah.
Like, so everything feels tight and nice, and I think it's a bit more scripted, but not in a bad way.
I think everyone's, like, there's a bit of authority there now. Yeah. Like, so, like, people are getting told what to do, but in the right way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, Matt Hardy rolling around going, I'm brilliant. Thank God, one.
No, it's great. I'm really enjoying this, and
Me
I can't wait for the one night stand.
Yeah, me either. That's our first main event of the year.
First pay per view. We haven't had a pay per view in ages, and now all of a sudden, first show pay per view tomorrow.
Yeah. Bound for Glory was literally the last pay per view.
Yeah,
and that was in November, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's been a while, and prior to that, there wasn't one for a while either. So this is a great way to kick it off. Thank you, Anthem.
Thank you, Anthem.
Yeah. So we are back. The Impact recap.
Woo! We're gonna hear our ugly voices for another year. How excited is that, guys?
Sucked in. But thank you so much for listening. We actually do really appreciate your time.
Look, where it beat 10, 20, 5 years, we appreciate them.
Definitely.
Like, dude, we do. Dudettes, non-binaries, whatever you are.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
All of you. And if you're an Impact fan, let us know. Drop something in the comments below.
Even if you're not, let us know. If you're just a wrestling fan, let us know. Because we're wrestling fans at the end of the day.
We are.
Like, we do favor TNA, and we're a bit of fanboys, but everyone's...
WCPW.
Yeah, no. But at the end of the day,
everyone's got their preferred brand.
Yeah, but we still like wrestling, and we're not, biased or one-sided with things.
We watched NXT and WWE as well. We went to NXT in December.
Exactly right. And had a good time.
Great.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Yeah.
So make sure, drop a comment, say hello, join the community, get involved. That's what we're here for. And until next time, don't forget, adventure, excitement, Stooge craves, not these things.
Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.
See you in a week.
Peace.